This first one is not my greatest picture. Boot camp, graduation 2009, and coming out of boot camp, when you first get there, you chop all your hair off, no matter how short it is. Everybody gets the same haircut. Boys are shaved, girls it's about right here up to your ear, and there's no shape to it. So when it grows out, you basically look like you have an afro. But this is about, let me think. We had 80 people in my division, and there were 8 divisions, so there's about 800 people at each graduation. Boot camp takes 2 months, and it was an experience. Nowhere near as hard as about any other one, but it was an experience to say the least. The summer of 2010, we went on a rim pack, which is a joint exercise between several different nations. The USS Ronald Reagan is the one in the front, and then we had several ships from Japan, China out there running exercises together. This is again rim pack. A few of those, if you can see the flags, Japan and China out there. But we spent about, like I said, 2 months out off of San Diego. In 2011, we went on our first cruise. That top left picture is an EA-6B Prowler, and so is the bottom right. That's one taking off. The bottom left picture is the USS Ronald Reagan, and it is huge. Those aircraft carriers, if you've ever been on one, you know how big they are. If not, and you make it to San Diego, there's one there as a museum. Go visit it. This was actually in March 2011. If any of you remember Operation Tomodachi or the Fukushima incident, we were the humanitarian relief over there. So that was a great experience as well. We weren't flying at that point in time, but we were ferrying a ton of supplies every day. Just anybody who was available would be up there either unpacking, unloading. We were constantly getting supplies on the ship, offloading them onto the helicopters, and the helicopters would fly them in. The mountains in the back of the second, or on the top right picture, is actually Japan. And the bottom right picture is just a small portion of the amount of people that are on that ship at any given time. Mail day. The top left picture is mail day, and that is a small mail day. All those packages, all those bags of mail, it's like Christmas. The top right picture is berthings. That is the rack space that you get. They're about 2.5 feet tall by 6 feet wide. So you better hope that you're about my size and you'll fit. Anybody bigger than me is pretty small, or it's pretty small for them. Bottom left picture is actually my husband and I. He worked right across the hallway from me in the Marine Squadron, and we were sitting in my work center. So imagine trying to fit about 10 people plus all your tools and everything into that small little space. The big picture is an F-18 Hornet, and right now they're staging a photo behind us with another ship. So you can see the photo in the back. The bottom right photo is an elevator. There are 4 elevators on an aircraft, and they bring the aircraft from the hangar bay up to the flight deck, and they're huge. Here we have some more aircraft running across the landing area. It took about 3 weeks to get all of my sign-off so that I can run around on the flight deck by myself. They don't let you up there unless you're qualified, not by yourself. Otherwise, you have to put your hand on the back of somebody else's float coat and follow them around like a duckling. Here we have just a few more photos. One of them is the USS Ronald Reagan. We're off the coast of Thailand, I believe, at that point. And then the bottom one is at sea refueling. I don't know if you can see in the photo, but there's actually fuel lines going across from that ship onto the Reagan, and we're refueling as we're going. So it takes quite a bit of experience to be able to do that. This is VAQ 139 cruise. This is the entire squadron, all the maintainers, and the officers as well. If you see the little strip of red people, I'm right in there. Boarding's are the only ones that get to wear red. Manning the rails, one of the greatest traditions, I think, of a deployment. Anytime you pull into a port, especially Pearl Harbor, as you can see in the long picture, they man the rails, and it's a sailor every 1.5 feet, I think, every 1.5 to 2 feet, and you stand there at attention saluting for about 20 minutes as you pull into a port, showing respect. The top left picture is the Marine group that was with us as well. This is a video. Let's see if I can get it to work. This is an EA-6B Prowler on takeoff. It's very loud, so we went ahead and muted it. Otherwise, you know why everybody is deaf who's working with an aircraft carrier with aircraft in general. It is probably the loudest aircraft that ever went off of an aircraft carrier. It's also one of the most powerful. The steam catapults that it goes off of are specifically set for weight. If they're not set correctly, you might end up with a lost aircraft. Right now, they are doing a final check to make sure everything's good before they launch it off. They will be attaching it to the catapult here shortly. But when these go off, it is like you can feel your heart rattling in your chest. That is how much force is behind it. It literally feels like your heart's going to explode. The JBDs, or the jet blast deflectors, is what just came up. Without those, you would probably lose equipment and people off of the back of the ship. That is how powerful these are. Right above where that person is kneeling down is the intake, and you do not walk in front of those, or you will lose something, yourself, your helmet, whatever tools in your hand. And they're off. And one more video. Maybe. Caleb, you want to help me out? That was on Tiger Cruise. Tiger Cruise is about a week at the end of every deployment where family members can come out and experience the carrier life in between Hawaii and San Diego. We always pull into Hawaii before we come back to port in San Diego, so they get to experience that. The flyover consisted of at least one aircraft from every platform that the carrier uses, and the amount of discipline it takes for a pilot to be able to fly in that type of formation is impressive, the amount of training they go through. This final photo is one of the proudest moments of my entire Navy career. My brother graduated from the Air Force Academy in 2014. And as an enlisted person, he asked me to be his first salute. Once they are commissioned as officers, they get a first salute. The bottom photo is the coin I received, which is actually at home. I should have brought that with me. But it's definitely one of the proudest moments of my whole career. Thank you all for listening and for your time.